Hello, happy Friday. All right, so Functional Fitness Friday today. We do not need any equipment. So it's all gonna be body weight today. If you have dumbbells and you want to use them, feel free. But everything is gonna be body weight today. We need enough space for us to be laying down on the ground, especially for the breathing at the end. But we're gonna do 3 rounds here today. We're gonna do 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest slash transition time. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started with a real quick demo. So we're going to start off here with reverse lunges into a knee drive. And for this, we're going to go nice and slow. So we're slowing down the tempo today. So we're going to step back with one foot. We're going to come down nice and slow, about 3 seconds. We're going to explode up, and then we're going to hold here at the top for another 3 seconds. So we're stepping back, 1, 2, 3, exploding up, 1, 2, 3. So that's going to help us get stronger with the eccentric or the lowering portion, and then holding at the top for balance, stability, and core work. So we're going to do all of that on one leg, and then the next 45 seconds we'll go to the other leg. So 1, 2, 3, and then up, 1, 2, 3. So those are going to be our first 2 movements. And then we're going to go ahead and get on the ground for some push-ups. So I can going up and down here might be a little tricky with the camera, but we're going to do a push-up here, and then we're going to do a shoulder tap on each side. So 1 push-up to 1 shoulder tap on each side. So coming down, push the ground away, and then 1 hand tap on 1 shoulder, and then again. So that's going to be our second movement. Definitely can start on the knees or work your way to the knees, or do an eccentric push-up nice and slow and then tap those shoulders. Lots of options there. And then we're going to go ahead and flip onto our backs. We're going to do glute bridge marches. So we're going to work on our pillar strength, so our torso as a whole. So we're going to have our feet hip width apart, push those hips towards the ceiling, lock that core in, and 1 leg at a time coming up, exhaling as we drive the knee up, alternating 1 leg at a time. And then after that, we're going to do some single leg lowering. So we're going to have our feet in the air, legs nice and straight. We're going to lower 1 leg at a time, coming down, inhaling, and then exhale. Use that core, bring the leg back up. So it's going to help strengthen that core and the low back a little bit. So really working on that pillar towards the end of class. And then that will help us get stronger for the beginning of the class. So that is going to be our whole circuit for today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to be on our hands and knees to start off. And we're going to do some quadruped rocks here with our adductor stretch. So we're on the hands and knees. We're going to take 1 foot out to the side, like a kickstand. Our pinky toe is going to be on the ground. There's my foot on the camera. And then we're going to go ahead and inhale, rock back. And exhale, come forward. Inhale, rock back. And exhale, coming forward. We're going to go ahead and do 2 more. We're going to rock back and forward. And last one, coming back and exhaling forward. All right. After we finish that last one, we're going to go ahead and bring that knee back up underneath the hip. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So other leg out to the side. Again, keep that pinky toe on the ground. We're going to inhale, rock back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, forward. We're doing 2 more here, rocking back. Exhale, forward. And last one, rocking back and forward. All right. Once we finish that last rep, when we're ready, bringing that knee back up underneath the hip. And then from here, we're on our hands and knees. We're going to tuck our toes, and we're going to push ourselves up into a plank position. We're going to do a few planks of pikes here, get our upper body and our core a little bit more warmed up. So we're going to go ahead and exhale, push those hips up towards the ceiling. We can start to pedal our calves a little bit, opening up our calves for our lunges, and back to plank. We're going to do 3 more here, pushing up to pike and back to plank, keeping that core tight. 2 more, pushing up and back to plank. And last one, we're going to push up, and then we're not going to go back to plank here. We're going to go ahead and walk our hands towards our feet. And when we're ready, we can go ahead and stand on up, push the ground away. We're ready to rock and roll. So we're gonna do this 3 times, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest / transition time. We're going nice and slow with our reverse lunges. Getting the timer ready here. 3, 2, 1, and go. So at the top of our space, we're starting with whichever foot you like. We're gonna step back, coming down 1, 2, 3. Drive through that front heel, big toe, little toe, and then we're driving that knee up. So if we act like we have a plane of glass here at the hips, break that glass with the knee. So we're being nice and explosive. So coming down nice and slow, and exhaling, coming up super fast. Making sure as we step back, our legs are like they're on train tracks, not a tightrope, train tracks. So that way we get nice stability here. And then we're working on that core strength and balance. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna do that same thing on the other leg. So we're getting ready. And again, if you'd like to hold like dumbbells or something for this, feel free. I'm doing everything body weight today, so whatever feels good for you. 3, 2, 1. Coming down 1, 2, 3. And then holding for 3 seconds. We're getting, like I said, we're getting that strength through our eccentric portion, which when we go nice and slow as we do the eccentric or the lowering portion in this case specifically. So as we go down nice and slow, we're starting to recruit more muscle fibers. We're going to be able to get a little bit stronger, build a little bit more muscle. And doing this one leg at a time is really great to work on, doing like one leg at a time so we can even out those imbalances. 3, 2, 1. All right. We're going to go ahead and get on the ground now for our push-ups. And remember, it's 1 push-up and then 1 tap on each side. So we're getting some core work and some upper body work here. 3, 2, 1. So we're getting ready for our push-ups. We're going to screw those hands into the ground. That's going to help keep our upper back engaged here. So screw those hands in and then lower that chest towards the ground. Keep those elbows close. And then making sure as we do our taps, we really want to pretend like we have headlights on our hips. So that way those headlights are facing the ground, because a lot of times I see we tend to kind of open the hips up as we tap the shoulder. That's going to take that core out of it. So we want to keep the core engaged. So if we exhale through that straw, bring the core together, keep those headlights pointed down. We're going to get more out of the movement there. 3, 2, 1. All right. Gonna go ahead, flip over on our backs. We're gonna do glute bridge marches, single leg lowering, then we're gonna go into round 2. 3, 2, 1. So getting that core engaged, breathe through that straw, drive those hips up, and then we are marching. So this one's really great to build our single leg stability. Again, our glute strength, because that glute is really going to get engaged. You want to drive that heel into the ground as we use the core to bring that opposite knee up towards our body. We really want to act like we're pulling everything together through the core. We're zipping it up, and there's a string attached to the zipper. That's what drives the knee. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, single leg lowering. So we're going to start with our feet in the air. Getting ready here. 3, 2, 1. So 1 leg at a time. We're coming down. Exhale, come back up. So we really, again, we're bringing everything together into the core, down and together, and then exhale as we need that core engaged. So this movement, if you are starting to feel it in your hips or in your low back, make sure you don't have to go all the way down to the ground. It is okay. I know sometimes for me, especially on round 3, you're probably going to see my leg not go down as far because I start to use my hips as my core gets tired. So just being aware of that, making sure you're using that core This is a great way to strengthen our core and our low back. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right. That was a great job. Round 1 is done. We're standing on up for round 2. We're going to push ourselves a little harder this round. 3, 2, 1. So starting with whichever leg you like. We're going down nice and slow. Exhaling, driving that knee up. I can already tell my core is tired from those last 2 movements because that one, I used my hip a little bit more to drive the knee up. And it's okay if we do feel it in the hips. It's not like we're doing it incorrectly, but we do want to use the core and the hip a little bit as well. So, similar to our banded marches that we do sometimes, we do want it to strengthen that hip flexor a little bit. It's only when it's really painful that we really want to alter the movement. But if you're just feeling it there, that's not a bad thing. 3, 2, 1. All right. I'm gonna go ahead, getting ready for the other leg. We're switching sides, and then we're back on the ground. 3, 2, 1. So get nice and slow down. Explode up, hold at the top. I really, again, like these to work on the stability and single leg movement. Really helps if we focus on that heel, big toe, little toe of the front foot really being on the ground, because when we really grip that whole foot, that's where that balance and stability is going to help. Or sorry, where it can help us get better balance and stability. I know what words are. It's Friday. Can you tell? We're going to finish strong here. 3, 2, 1. All right. We're ready for push-ups. My least favorite. All right. Making sure on our push-ups, our hands are starting straight out, coming down here, and then back up. 3, 2, 1. So screw those hands in. Keep that core engaged. Keep it zipped up. We're coming down. And then headlights blind the ground. That's where this is. Obviously an upper body movement. We're also going to get some single arm stability here because we do have to keep all of our weight stable on one hand, right? Without really shifting. I mean, you can even practice here. My core is shaking, but the core is engaged. My headlights are blinding the ground. So we're getting that single arm stability as well as our core strength. And then if you need to, if you drop to those knees, make sure your butt is tucked into the belly button. 3, 2, 1. All right. I don't think I'll ever like push-ups. We're going to get on the ground on our backs, glute bridge marches, single leg lowering, and then one more round. 3, 2, 1. So our core down together, and then drive one heel as you drive the other knee up. I really do like this movement a lot because it works the glutes and the core. And a lot of our movements inside and outside of the gym / class, we do need our hips and our torso for that. So this is a great way to really build that strength. We're building single leg strength, core strength, low back strength. A lot of times low back tightness comes from 1, sitting a lot, but 2, a weakness in the glutes. This is going to help with that. 3, 2, 1. All right. We got single leg lowering next. I really want us to not have our hands under the butt. We're not doing that. Hands are up to the side. 3, 2, 1. So the way we can kind of combat this without needing those hands on the ground is you just lower your leg a little bit higher and then really work on using the core. Because if we're always doing this and we have the aid there, we're not necessarily going to get stronger in the movement. So if we just shorten our range of motion, we work within that. As we get stronger, we can start to lower the legs a little bit further and then really exhaling as we come up. This is not meant to go super fast either. I started moving really quick. When we move slow, Move with intent. We're going to get more out of it. 3, 2, 1. All right, that was awesome. We got one more round. We're going to stand on up. We got our slow reverse lunges. This is our last round, and then we're going to be on the ground at the end for the rest of class. 3, 2, 1. So coming down, 1, 2, 3. Holding for 3 seconds. Great job. I know doing this can be a little tough. That third round, this last round is the toughest because we're tired. We've been moving a lot, but really pushing, finishing strong here throughout the workout and really moving with intent. So moving slower, really focusing what muscle are we trying to work, right? Right now, working our glutes, our quads, our hips a little bit, and the core, right? So that's where we really want to pull from throughout the movement. 3, 2, 1. All right. Gonna go onto the other leg, and then we're gonna be on the ground and then on our backs for the rest of the workout. 3, 2, 1. Switching our sides. Same thing though. You can even too, I know for me, especially with like when we have imbalances, really focusing, moving really slow, practicing 10 out of 10 intent when we're working on maybe our not as strong side. So for me, I'm a right-handed. My right leg is a lot, I wouldn't say weaker, but it just doesn't activate as well through the glutes as my left leg does. So I always move a little bit slower on the right side just to make sure I'm really engaging that muscle. 3, 2, 1. All right, great job. We're done with the lower body here. So we're gonna go ahead, push-ups are next. Last round of push-ups, and then we're done with them. I know, push-ups are hard. 3, 2, 1. So screw those hands into the ground. And if we were bent on our knees the whole time, just try and push yourself and really do a full push-up here. If you've been doing an eccentric push-up, push yourself, get a little bit better, do a full one. But if you've been doing full ones the whole time, keep pushing. Like I said, I know it's tough. I don't like push-ups personally either. Last one. I was struggling. We're good. We need to take a second, but we're going to get right back into it. Focusing on the strength here. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're done with those. Great job. Oh, that was really tough. Y'all did great. All right, we got glute bridge and marches, and then single leg lowering, and then we're gonna cool down. 3, 2, 1. Pushing those hips towards the ceiling. Keep pushing. Making sure too, with this one, we want our heels directly below the knees. If our feet are too far out, you're gonna feel that in your hamstring. If they are too close, you're gonna feel it in your quads. So we wanna find the Goldilocks just right underneath the heels underneath the knees, and that's how we're gonna engage those glutes. You can always, too, if you're not sure, you can always tap your glutes to remind yourself to really drive that heel in the ground. Make sure they're engaging. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last movement today. We have our single leg lowering, and then we're going to stay on the ground for our cool down. 3, 2, 1. So this is where we're tired. Our core is dead. We've been doing everything properly, using that intent. So really moving a little bit slower this time. Really use that core. It does really help if we exhale as we come up, and really focusing on coming back up nice and slow. We got this. This is our last movement. And then we're going to cool down. We're going to do some stretches. And then we're going to breathe. And then we got the rest of Friday ahead of us. 3, 2, 1. And that is it for today's circuit. That flew by. I don't know about anyone else. I actually had a good time that one. That was a good one. But we're gonna be on the ground on our back. So go ahead, grab a sip of water if you need it. Just move the camera a little bit. And then we're gonna cool down with some bretzel here. So we're gonna open up our upper body. We did, our push-ups, our planks, and our shoulder taps, and then we did a lot of lower body stuff. So we're gonna do bretzel. So we're gonna be on our side here. And checklist, we're gonna take our top leg, we're gonna bring it up over and across our body, knee and ankle on the ground. Our bottom hand is gonna go on top of our knee. And then with our top hand, we're gonna grab onto the bottom foot or ankle. And then we're gonna inhale to prepare. And we're gonna exhale, bringing that top shoulder towards the ground. So this is where we're gonna start to slow the breath down, making those exhales longer than the inhales. Really let that body relax into the stretch. And let's go and do one more breath here. And as we finish our exhale, when we're ready, we can go ahead and gently release bottom leg. We can start to roll over onto our other side when we're ready. So we're gonna have our same checklist here. Oh, there we go. Back finally cracked. All right, we're gonna take the top leg up, over, and across. There are lots of cracks there. Wow. And then with that, whatever hand this is, the bottom hand on top of the knee, and then top hand is going to grab onto the bottom foot or ankle. We're going to inhale to prepare and exhale, bringing that top shoulder towards the ground. I don't know about anyone else, but my back only cracks when I lean a certain direction. So with this side, my back always cracks. The other side does not. The other side is a tighter side. So it's always good to make notes of that, bring more awareness about our bodies to our bodies as well. Relaxing into the stretch with each exhale. And let's go ahead and do one more breath here. When we're ready, we can gently release the bottom leg. And then we can go ahead and roll over fully onto your backs. We're going to start our oh my goodness, breathing practice. If I could talk, I guess we would be able to do it. But we're gonna start off with just practicing a couple deep breaths. So right hand placing that over the diaphragm, left hand over the chest, over the heart. And we're gonna do a couple practices. So we're gonna go in through the nose, into the belly. So making sure our right hand raises either before the left hand or the left hand's not raising at all. And then exhaling through the mouth, relaxing our body and releasing all the stress we feel today. So we're gonna do a few of those. And after our next breath, we're going to go ahead and do a couple rounds of some tempo breathing. So we're going to do a little bit more challenging one today. We're going to do my personal favorite in order to calm myself down. So if you're stressed or you're anxious, or even if like you just need like a mental reset during the workday, this one is great. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale for 6 seconds. We're going to hold for 4. We're going to exhale for 10. So the 10 exhale is very hard, but we're just going to practice it because the more we do it, the better we are going to get at it and the easier we'll be able to continue with. So I'll count us out for a few and then we'll go ahead and go into that. So we're going to inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead and continue that tempo here. I'm gonna be quiet. And let's go ahead and do one more round of this tempo. And after our last exhale, when we're ready, start to wake the body up, wiggle those fingers and toes, and feel free, you can stay laying on the ground, or you can gently roll to your side to return to a seated, kneeling, or standing position. That is going to be all the time for today's class. So that last tempo is really great to calm the body down, the heart rate, kind of reset our nervous system so we can be able to, eat after a workout or, de-stress the body before bed, during the workday, all of that. And really focusing on breathing into the belly is going to help us get more air into the lungs so we can exhale a little longer. So practicing that is a really good thing to implement. But thank you for joining me. Great job. And I hope you have a great week.